start. Howdy there.
Hello, dear. Good to see you as always.
Of course. It's I'm glad it's it's still like a good day out. I've been doing all sorts of talks today, and I'd say probably one of the better days to be having all sorts of talks. You know.
I see. Well, I do enjoy nice weather, as do most.
All right, let's see if I can park my butt here.
I think the bench is solid enough.
I don't know. I think it's a little too solid, you might say. No, I think I can get around it, actually. With a little bit of ingenuity, I suppose.
I see, yes. One must descend within the mind.
Yes. Alright. I'm totally not standing on this thing. Totally not. I'm totally not standing on this. Oop. Totally not standing on this.
To the right. In now. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm totally fine here.
So, I suppose I was just kind of wondering where you're at, you know? Good to see your thoughts.
I'll probably give you some good thoughts here if I can get myself to feel a little more comfortable here, you know? I can't exactly. This is the most natural kind of.
Do you prefer to stand instead?
You know what? I think life will find a way.
I see.
You know, I suppose like my blood's a little on the kind of super active kind of side, you know. No, you don't have to get up. I just need to kind of stretch my
all right.
Stretch my body just a little tiny bit. It's you might say this kind of leads into one of the things that's kind of getting to me, I guess, is just the whole well, kind of can't do much of anything. All I can do is simply just talk to people. And unfortunately, the only avenue I have for talking to some people is just well, seeing what they gotta be saying in those communications. Can't exactly say it's the best way of going about things, I suppose. I mean, I talk to plenty of people. The problem is that most of them are not exactly those that are in the communications and all that.
Right.
And I would have liked, I don't know. I would have liked to have connected with them all, but the fact that I can't go out there and fight means I can't really find opportunities to connect with them. And well, can't say I feel like I'm in a good place to be. How do you say? Saying something to them, you know?
I see.
It's unfortunate. They say that to get better at working together is to get to know your allies more. But that's just been a steep hill since Unfortunately, I think even from just from the get-go.
Well, I'm sure as you've noticed, the youth can be very hot-headed.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do definitely notice that. Definitely noticed that.
And we have said before, admittedly the amount of pressure on these people is not small.
I'd say it's quite Herculean.
Hmm.
This isn't something that most mortal men should be taking up. This sort of stress level.
And over time, that can have side effects, as being exposed to anything for too long a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I've I wish I caught on what was going on in that conversation last night. Just a little bit faster, a little bit sooner. Cause thought there was some kind of confusion thing going on, but I didn't realize it was a I guess moment of emotions running wild.
Hmm. Indeed.
Granted, it's gonna sound kind of weird, but it felt like there was chaos running wild, and like I had to be saying something, you know.
Hmm.
Something felt just being silent felt wrong.
Hmm. I can understand where that feeling comes from, particularly with yourself.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't think trying to rectify the madness to some degree is necessarily a bad thing. It's just trying to find the best way to do it. In times of emotional distress, I suppose you could say that the most direct route is rarely the best. One of the most complicated things in existence, people's emotions.
I I feel like it was mighty unfortunate that well, the words were chosen the way they were. I mean, of course, on my part, but just I got reminded of just the stuff that happened during the waves I was there last for. And the best way I could put it, it just felt like things were put in sort of perspective, I suppose. Just, or not perspective, but just uncomfortable. I don't know. Just like I put my rather. I know everyone's like putting their lives in the line and all that sort of stuff. That's what we're always doing. But just like that feeling of like I don't know. Maybe I did actually die. Maybe it's just the way my body works is just this is simply just my second go or third go. Who knows? And something about feeling like that didn't. I know it's not their intention, but it just felt like it didn't matter. Like it only mattered just this one person, this one situation right there. That's all that mattered. And I don't blame him. Go ahead.
Things moved at a very fast pace for the parties, it seems. It's forward, you know. And for some reason, I've noticed a lot of them seem to get themselves into a lot of trouble. Whether that's their own fault or not is another matter entirely. I have no idea. But
well, I mean, I assume it's this this Bartholomew fellow or this Crimson or Noir business.
Oh yes, did you were told about Bartholomew, weren't you? I could give a bit more context on him, from what little I do know myself.
I mean, Evers did say some things, but I wouldn't mind extra stuff.
He's now formerly a member of the VRChat who kind of went rogue and decided he had a grudge to install the heroes, and it seems he's causing problems for everyone, particularly Miss Phoebe. I believe the last mission I went on with all the other parties, we almost captured it. In fact, I've got a photo of his unconscious body. But he got away, unfortunately, afterwards.
How'd that happen?
Honestly, I can't recall. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I wasn't in charge of looking after him anyway, but he's quite an unpleasant fellow. He's incredibly prejudiced against non-humans.
Well, I guess I know how things are going to turn out between me and him then.
Absolutely. And I'm... Sorry, the details on him are a bit foggy in my brain.
No, that's quite all right.
But yes, he's one of the main problems, other than this Herald fellow.
Right, Harold.
I think.
Harold and Lich.
I don't know. Well, yes, actually, we've not heard from that Lich for quite some time. Maybe he's retired. I hope he has. That'll make our lives a lot easier. But I don't know if there's any relation between Harold and this Bartholomew fellow.
I'm not quite sure what I should be doing moving forward. Like, right. I mean, I know I'm trying to get better and all that, but I mean, like, once I get better, once I'm able to actually not feel like I have a bunch of just meat just attached to my body.
I see. Is there anything that calls to you particularly at the moment?
Well, trying to balance out the world. That's what's calling me. I want to be... I'm trying to figure out how to be careful with my words, how I'm saying this here, because it's not really sort of a knock on like people who prefer to go down that pathway, but just
you can be as plain with me as you want, dear. I know your feeling of intent, at least.
The situation that's going on with some of those, it's just sort of like, I don't know if there's sort of growing pains or people trying to get used to each other kind of thing. It just feels like chaos. And I guess maybe I had different expectations, but I mean, they don't deserve to be scorned for what they've been forced to go through. And that's a problem, because I feel scorn. I feel like a distaste, like I'm like a sort of do better kind of thing.
Hmm.
But like,
Well, because you wish to see them succeed.
yes, I do.
Hmm.
Like, I believe these guys can do so much, but it's right now it's so hard for me to tell what is it that I'm feeling. Am I feeling sort of like disappointment? Where is this disappointment coming from? Is it just
Frustration.
frustration? I guess maybe, perhaps.
Hmm.
It's just, am I the one that's feeling it, or is it just the side of me that does not like chaos or imbalance or whatever? Is that the one that's getting agitated? You know. And Phoebe, I don't know if that's healthy for me as well. You know,
I think perhaps I'm just spitballing, as I say now, but perhaps the part of the issue for yourself is that you're trying to. I know it's often the opposite of what people usually say. You're trying to comprehend the whole picture. You know, you're looking at all the details of everyone, and they're not satisfied with it. You know, perhaps you could focus more on the things you can immediately affect. You know, focus more closer on our direct group, or perhaps problems that are related from this. You know, that's things we can affect meaningfully. You know. There's lots of side effects of the things which are going on out in the world.
Well, unfortunately, I can't really do much affecting. You know, I'm not really someone who can change minds with any sort of honeyed words, and I can't exactly pick up a sword and go, protecting people. Not yet. I'm not sure when I can be able to do that. But there's not much I can be doing to positively affect people's lives.
Well, what do you feel like you can do at the moment?
Just try to get better. It's basically, a situation of like a situation where you can't do anything. Rather, something's got to get done, but there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just basically looking for what I can do. And, I'm definitely trying to exercise. I'm definitely, I'm not letting my body moving all sluggish and whatnot stop me from doing so. Granted, I'm not doing anything extraneous, or excessive. I don't exactly know if it's that my body can't handle it or what, but I don't want to be finding out that I'm ripping apart my muscles or anything like that. But I'm definitely trying. I'm also I bought myself some yarn from that H's Guild place, and I don't know, maybe some knitting might help me. I don't know, give me a sort of a mental blocker breaker or whatever. I don't know if the situation is actually a mental block, but trying something different might help give me a eureka moment.
Might help with coordination as well.
I didn't even think about that.
Get yourself a bit more dexterity, as they say.
Well, hopefully. At the very least, I want to say hand-eye coordination, but the problem is that, I still don't feel like I'm, I still can't get used to it, hey, I know my hand's in a sort of specific location, but, if I'm trying to, move something, to catch a fly, you might say, it's just... my hand, I feel like my hand should have been over there, moments
Sluggish.
ago. Yeah.
I've heard of things like that, where people's bodies move slower than their brains do.
Everest, it still says that I'm, what was it, level 0. Whatever the hell that means.
That's strange. Well, I suppose some of the sluggishness could be taken into account by the current level you're at, I suppose.
Rather, what is it? The interpretation of that little doohickey that she's got.
Ah, yes. Well, we've seen a few times the class calculation system is by no means perfect. It's trying to quantify things trying to logically quantify things that sometimes are difficult to quantify.
We still haven't figured out what's the deal with that whole like I seem to just, even though I was working just as hard as you guys, my level still didn't seem to be going in there. Just kind of like there's one pip every so long while.
But you seem to, well, for the most part, you seem to be keeping up, physically at least.
Trying. Well, at the time, yeah, I was. I definitely was. It's just weird how it sort of interpreted levels in a different kind of way, but regardless, though.
Maybe. Perhaps it's like one of those things where you level up less frequently, but you get more when you do.
It's interesting how the status weapons sort of the status magic stuff interpreted that kind of stuff.
Yes. Well, I couldn't begin to comprehend it, but clearly it was designed by someone with a very large brain.
Might also be possible that the weapons know something, or maybe my body knows something and is giving them information, but I don't know actively what this info is about. Catch my drift?
I suppose that's oh, anywho. But I do think perhaps at least taking some time for yourself to do some things is a good option. Also,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
you gotta try and relax the mind, not just the body.
I mean, I don't exactly have any choice in the matter, now do I?
Well, maybe you'll find something you're passionate about, you know?
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe I find out that I'm all about that knitting life, you know?
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to Christmas then.
I'm not sure I'm gonna be coming up with any kind of nice looking sweaters though.
Well, you know, it's knitting, like any art form, you get better the more you do it. I was gonna say a big word then, but I forgot what the word is. Iterative. I don't think that's a word. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Learning process and all that.
Yeah.
You think so you think it's all right for me to be sort of just I guess doing my own thing even after I get better, at least for some time?
If that's what you feel you need.
I feel like that's I can do more like that.
Hmm. You've been through something crazy and unknown. It wouldn't be surprising if you needed some way to adjust and figure out where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
It's only natural.
I hope the others will think like that. I mean, outside the sword party, that is.
Well, I suppose it's up to you if that actually gets explained to them. Like,
Yeah,
the
there's.
unfortunate thing is, who knows if they'll even notice of all the insane things going on.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't get a chance to talk with the others much. I'm trying to think. I mean, I know I've said hey to Clay, to Nora, time to time, but I don't remember having a meaningful conversation with any of them. You know. I see plenty of them around in town.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all busy. Got things to do. And I suppose if there comes a time where Dragon Spire is accessible, I don't know if I'd... Maybe if I wasn't worrying about the waves, maybe I'd be a little okay going over there. It's been a lot of time, and I'd hope that some people maybe learned a thing or two from the past. I can't be exactly judging people for what others do. You know, everyone grows at their own pace, just separately. One person doesn't represent everyone.
Indeed. That's very fair. If you wanted to, you could use this opportunity to engage with some people more. I suppose you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. If I'm given the opportunity to do so, at the very least.
Well, sometimes you have to take the initiative.
Phoebe, I don't know how much I can explain to you, but like, initiative can only do so much when you move like I do, and you can't go out in the field.
Well, you see, sometimes you don't have to catch up to people. You just need to be in the doorway.
I see.
There you go. There's an apt, appropriate metaphor, I think.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can do a pretty good job of blocking an entire doorway.
Well, there you go.
I still hope that I don't need to worry about any of them kind of getting all upset for me kind of unsure if I want to be helping, I guess. Helping them directly, rather.
I mean, as far as I can tell, for the bigger everyone, I don't know. There's a lot of team members taking time off and come back.
Yeah.
I think there'll only be as much attention brought to it as you choose to bring yourself.
Maybe that's maybe that's the problem. That because I haven't put enough effort on my part. That they don't really know that I don't know, actually. There's something about, like, that stuff that I was telling you about, that,
Hmm.
the effort I put in, the waves that I was in. I don't want to go out of my way to talk about that stuff. I don't want to say, hey, buddy, you know what I went through? I went through this, and that. I still feel haunted by the whimpers of, someone getting treated as I'm trying to keep this hulking creature off of him.
Hmm.
I don't know if I really like that sort of thing. That sort of...
I suppose that does require a certain level of closeness.
Yeah, I suppose.
You typically with those type of questions, the best way to lead into it is to ask about the other person and then offer a similar story, I suppose. Stan, it feels less like, you just, here is this thing. It feels more cooperative.
It's still a dicey topic, I feel, considering, like, even if I'm asking, hey, how'd you feel during this sort of stuff, I already know there's going to be discomfort. Not everyone's willing to remember that stuff that went on there. Or rather, not everyone can handle remember that stuff. Me, I'd say I can handle it just fine. Yeah, I'm bothered by certain little bits and pieces here and there, but, like, that's not gonna slow my roll down.
I suppose there is a certain degree of well, perhaps keeps those types of conversations to the closer party. Eh? I mean, doesn't mean you can't have more socially productive conversation than some of the others. It's not even just, and I know it seems like, well, this wave stuff is a big giant elephant in the room, but the elephant's not there for those conversations. At least until someone else brings it up.
Which is sort of the problem right there.
Well, sometimes you gotta wait for the elephant removal man to come to your house to remove the elephant.
I see, of course.
In which time you can do other things.
I wish I had more luck with that sort of thing, because that is actually the times I do get the opportunity to maybe kind of have a little talk. What comes up? The waves. And
well, I know it's unfortunate that one was recently announced, but normally I'd say, well, the gaps between them have been quite large. A few months.
Well, I mean, like, it ain't just also the waves, also like a certain things have been gnawing at people, like actual physical people, and I just can't exactly how do I say this? It's not easy for me to be able to find out or to find who is actually okay to be talking about this sort of stuff. I know there are some individuals who give off this feeling that's like, unless you've been in the trenches, you don't understand. You really probably shouldn't really be involved in a conversation like that. That sort of thing. It's not money. It's not many, but I do get that feeling.
In your circumstances, I would say someone of reasonable temperament is probably the best candidate there. I know Mr. Clay is very reasonable. Seems like a lovely chap.
Right. Right. Unfortunately, I don't get to really see him. More specifically, I don't get to see him much. I don't see him. I don't see, what's that lady's name? Tiefling lady? I forgot what her name was already.
Oh yes, actually, I've not seen them around for a while.
I've seen Nora walking in and out of this place,
Hmm.
but
I think getting close to a party member from a different party naturally extends into eventually becoming closer with those who surround them. Like a like getting through law.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to say something, but you know what I mean.
I get what
Like
you mean. I get what you mean.
mhm.
And do you feel a little bit better? I suppose. Here, just let's listen to you. I've still got
Have you
you.
spoken with anyone else?
I spoke with Mina and Skelly.
Hmm.
Mina's how do I say this? They definitely are trying to handle damage control. But it they thought there was a bunch of damage to be fixing around me, but I don't know. I had to try to convince her that I suppose the assistance I needed is a little bit more different than the others. You know.
Hmm. You're less in need of a great disentanglement of your brain and more perspective.
I don't know. I don't want to make it sound rather selfish or whatnot, but I have a greater interest in trying to understand who I am, because that's probably the biggest part in all this. I can't really talk to people because I don't know who I am. Who I
You
am.
need to see how to define yourself.
Exactly. And well, I've only known who I am for about a year now. Well, not even a full year, but it's been a year.
Perhaps a good question to pair with who am I is who do I want to be? It's much easier to see where you're going than once you know where you're going, you can see where you're at or where you have been at.
And even still, that sort of thing, I can't even give come up with a good idea. I have a thing I could do.
Of course. Well, these are the big questions, you know. And they're the sort of things that don't come in a day. Introspection.
You know what? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I
lots of thoughts needed
misunderstood
for
what you're what you're getting at there. Huh. Actually,
I'm glad I could help you to some degree.
yeah, and I think you helped me for me trying to figure out what I want to be doing right now. Actually, it's I'd say it's pretty important. Actually, I'm gonna get some food.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm hungry. So, you want to be stopping by a tavern with me then?
Sure. Lead the way.
All right. I hope you're okay with the slow walk, though.
I'm fine with taking things at a reasonable pace.
All right. You kind of by nature got to have an amount of patience, huh, with your.
Oh, yes. I used to be a teacher. You have to have a lot of patience with people. Mm-hmm. In Adderall.
All right. And card down.
Yep.
Hey.
There we go.
Yay.